Hey YouTube, Gunner here. Welcome back to Space Engineers. Today we've got a little something from the SMDC. They've been busy expanding into new territories. They've decided to up their security measures, as you can see by the swarm of pillboxes around the construction yard. And they're already building a brand new design of ship. And in fact, it isn't one ship, it is two separate ships. We'll talk about that in a minute. First off, we'll discuss about what's here. Well, clearly, there's a nice little habitable planet down there. Over there, a nice big moon. Now, if you notice, there's another planet over there with a moon. And if you look near the sun, on the left side of the sun appears to be yet another planet. So there appears to be 3 planets and at least 2 moons. Now, as for this construction facility here, well, it's just the medium crucible. However, what is this ship that's being built? Well, the one thing you should know is, right now it's one combined ship, but in the end, all you have to do is take these, rip them apart, and you will have 2 ships. Now, they don't seem too much right now, because there's a lot to go. But hydrogen tanks, reactors, plenty of reactors. There are 8 reactors, 2 gyros and 2 large cargo containers, plenty of these small thrusters all around, including the top and bottom. But in the back, a Titan engine? That seems different. Also, these ships don't seem to be generally capable of main combat in the normal sense. Normally ships have weapons on all sides, but if you notice, this side here goes up kind of smooth and takes its time. This more harshly drops down and leaves a giant opening. Could that opening possibly be to pack as many weapons as possible? If so, then these 2 ships are what are known as broadside ships. It definitely appears that the ships elongate more towards the inside, towards each other, than they do the outside. And of course they might be able to fuse together later on. Could it be that these ships are designed for it? I can say it's more of absolutely. Something I saw on Empire War mod, I think it was Thrawn's Revenge, a vessel that had almost no weapons on most of its sides, but on one side it was just covered in guns. Like literally just guns everywhere. Now the thing is, I want to make sure that we can deal with both sides if need be. So when you get this thing in the Steam Workshop, you'll actually be getting 2 ships. There will be some connectors or merge blocks so you can combine them again. It'd probably be through the act of pistons. You'll be able to recombine them. A series of pistons pull them in. Now you have to keep a distance because they'll burn the thrusters off each other, so careful on that. It still has a long ways to go, and I don't have anywhere near enough forward thrusters, so I have to deal with that eventually. Actually, I can just deal with it a little bit now, but oops. So, yeah. Well, one thing you can say about these ships, they're gonna have a ton of guns on the one side, a whole lot of nothing on the top, bottom, and the in-between, but they're not gonna be slow by any stretch of the imagination. Not in the forward direction, at least. This amount of standard thrusters will help, but a Titan engine sitting in there? The only other vessel that has a Titan engine is my Osprey. Even the Vagabond doesn't have it. Now, these ships are armored. These panels here and on the sides and the front there are heavy armor, I believe. At least along one side, so it's hidden. It is hidden heavy armor to annoy the hell out of somebody. But pretty soon you're going to be noticing some exploration of this star system on the planets. So, yeah. And maybe a moon or two. We'll have to take a look-see later. For now, I've got a lot of work to do, and you guys have a few videos to watch. I've got a lot of work to do to finish these ships. So, I'll catch you later. Actually, I just remembered one last thing. I apologize, I forgot. The Halo Wars 2 beta is up on Xbox, so I'm going to be probably taking a break from Spationeers for a while and just doing that. Alright, so I'll probably just be doing the Halo Wars beta for a little bit. That is pretty awesome, though. Imagine trying to take that on. The Crucible has some defenses, but these are 12 pillboxes. They may not be much on their own, but they each had to be taken out. 4 CIWS, 4 dual-light cannons, and a pair of buffers surrounded by heavy armor. They're not so easy to take out. Also, there's 12 of them. Although jagged, because it was more hastily put up. And you don't see it from here, but there's a pretty big battle going on over the barren planet over there, where the people that used to be in this star system. I had to deal with communications with a fleet, including one of our battleships, which you don't see yet. Along with the carrier, however. So many plans to do. I was gonna say, though, one thing that we've been busy with, besides working on that moon and dealing with the hostile forces still there, and we've just finished knocking out a couple of guys down there. Next is that one way over there. We're dealing with some intel we grabbed from one of their ships up there. Yeah, they were still using the basic vessel. We've since surrounded it with mines, so if they try to move, they're toast. And there's a single Mark II Dragonfly to keep an eye on it. Pilot's asleep right now, but their gun, their reactors are gone, and their ship is messed up. Besides the fact they're all dead. We've already ground off all the damaged bits. First shots took out some of the thrusters, the bridge, and the entire side here off one of the jump drives. Then a strike unit went and took out the reactor on this side, leaving the ship useless. The vacuum of space. Well, almost useless. It's got intel, which the enemy's gonna hate when they find out. They'll probably try to send a strike team. Mark II Dragonfly along with some mines will keep them at bay. However, there is, besides some cargo here, there is something else the enemy doesn't realize just yet. we have an osprey inbound just to cover this thing until we grind it away into nothingness. We also have a couple of badgers inbound with the osprey, and the osprey is gonna go and take that dragonfly. Where'd he go? There he is. He's gonna take the dragonfly and leave. But other than that, the enemy's probably not gonna get this thing anyways, because there's a set of mines that have been placed around it. So yeah. We have a single battleship with 3 ospreys and 5 standard frigates, and that's it. And they've gone up against over 100 enemy ships, but report was 1 osprey with minor damage, 2 of the frigates, 1 moderate damage, 1 minor damage. Everything else is okay. Minor damage to the battleship. A couple fighters have been knocked out, but the enemy has a large fleet of really big ships and a space station or 2, and have been KO'd. We're already busy mining more. We just wanted to deal with some protection right away while we get this new design up and running, because these ships are going to be pretty cheap to build in comparison, but they're going to have a huge array of weapons on the side. As for just what, well, I am considering the possibility of this, except for the sheer size. This might be a little much. I mean, look at the thing, it's just stupidly big. That's Big Bertha, by the way. I'm definitely going to put that on the Titan. Maybe, if I'm feeling like it, put on the battleship, but I don't think so. A little big for the battleship. However, yeah, there'll be a pretty good amount of weapons on the side here. There's your first 2, right there. There. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of weapons here. So, you're not going to get away with shooting at this ship without dying badly. And in case you're wondering, yes, there are going to be a ton of missiles hitting them in the side. The thing is, I have to remember where to have the conveyors have to be inside a little more, and have to make sure the Ravagers don't blow each other up. So yeah, I'll pull you back a little bit, but that's okay. I got a lot of work to do. I will catch you a lot later here in the SMDC. Just doing You definitely can't really be moving when firing these missiles, unless you reduce this a bit, maybe. Doing that. That'll help a little. Not much, but it's better than nothing. Then maybe I shouldn't even use Ravagers, but I like them so much. Or, I got a better idea. Give them more of a gap, and put them farther, just put them farther out. In the meantime, I got a ton of weapons to place. I'm probably gonna have to have a few of these on here for the top and bottom. They're not that good, but they'll be okay for a ship this size. Catch you later.